Welcome back to Beagle Eye Visions, Internet. I'm drinking some Pine Berry Splash. I got some Dubby in my cup, and it's extremely cold outside, and it's raining, so what a perfect time to record another Grindin episode. We're on episode number 36, Sovereignty and Courage of the CubbyWhole podcast today. I'm hanging around at Far Harbor. I just discovered this day spa. Probably gonna go inside and see what's going on. Seeing what's happening at the day spa. Check it out. And roam around Far Harbor this whole episode. Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you have some W in your cup. Ready to get some knowledge. You have an open mind. Ready. And, I forget what it is. Oh well, I'm brain farting. Let's go, let's get some knowledge.
And that's one of the things about religion that we have to remember when we're talking about that makes it such a hot topic issue, is because we're talking about law. Who gets to be God? Who gets to be God's deputies? Who is the Most High? Who is the divine authority? It's all about the claim to the Most High. The only way that somebody can be higher than us is if we give away our power. Because there's nobody, we're all equal. But we're not equal in our knowledge, so ultimately I think it does have to be a hierarchy, but it has to be a cooperative hierarchy like a bee colony. It's about what our value system is, what we care about.
Today is January 26th, 2021. I am your host, Nate Cap, joined by co-host Brandon Martin. Welcome to the 36th CubbyWhole podcast, where important topics are unveiled, discussed, and tested. Our website is CubbyWhole.com. That's CubbyWhole.com. All right. So it has been a couple months since the last show, and I hope everyone is doing all right, all things considered. And we hope at this point you're all caught up on these episodes. And if not, just make sure to listen to these shows in order from the beginning till now for the maximum value. It's very important. On today's show, Brandon and I will hopefully get to and cover sovereignty and courage. But first, Brandon is going to give us an update about the Seed for Growth Conference coming up this May. And also, I'll be giving a quick website function review as well as updates on where the CubbyWhole show is expanding to. It's a lot of important updates, so make sure to take note because there'll definitely be some beneficial knowledge in there for sure for how everything operates. Brandon, how you doing, man? Thanks for being on the show.
I am doing great, Nate. Thank you for having me on the show.
Awesome. It's going to be a really exciting, jam-packed start to the year. So we've got a lot of really important content to cover, and it's going to only get deeper in this CubbyWhole for sure. So, Brandon, what can we expect or what's new with the Seed Conference? What can we expect to see on down the road in May?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say, it's very exciting and glorious to be back on the show with you. I have been looking forward to getting more content out there. I feel like we really did a great job at promoting and producing a lot of content, quality content, the few months before we took our little hiatus. And I wish the best for everybody in these times, because they are very troubling times for liberty and for freedom at this point. So I just want everybody to know that we are here with you. We stand beside you. And, don't ever give up, because this is what we're living with right now. We are here together, and you're not alone. And our voices coming together like this do make a difference. You speak the truth into existence. You speak reality into existence. And that's what we're trying to do here with a lot of this information. As far as the Seed Conference, the Seed Conference is all going to plan, and everybody can look for the information for the Seed Conference. You can get the tickets at the Eventbrite Seed Conference page. So you just go to your search browser and type in Eventbrite and then put Seed 4 behind that, and you should come up with the search results for the Seed 4 conference. I did it earlier today to confirm that, and they came directly up. You can also find information on Facebook about the Seed 4 conference. Do the same thing. Just go in and type in Seed 4, and you should be able to find our page or our event page. We do have top caliber speakers coming from all over the place to, bring this message of truth out there. To get it into the ears of the people who do not know this information, who do not understand the principles of natural law. So we have people like yourself, Nate, Cap. We have Douglas Martin speaking, myself speaking. We have Dylan McCormick speaking. We have Nathan Radette speaking. We also have the one and only Mark Passio speaking, and possibly many more. So I really look forward to having people come and bringing like-minded individuals together, and those who are not like-minded, because like I said, this is for the people who do not have this information. I want to see the conference with more people that don't have this information than do,
Right.
And I know that might sound a little strange because we're trying to bring people that we want to be around, together, obviously, people who do have that, and we do want that. We want a good selection of both, but definitely more that don't, because I'm trying to get in the faces of people who do not have that information. So again, you can go to the Eventbrite for the tickets. The tickets are $85 a piece, and which has been the standard ticket price the entire time. And you can go directly to the Facebook and find the event page, and there's also a ticket link, link there that you can find to take you to Eventbrite.
And you can also go to the donations part of the CubbyWhole website to help fund the Seed Conference. So make sure to do that if you plan on attending, or, if you just want to help out with the website. So thanks for that update, Brandon. And, it's true. It's like, we're really sinking here as a species all over the world, and but there's hope, and this is what this is about. This conference is all about the hope of bringing humanity back into a sovereign world where we have no slavery. That's our goal here, and even if it takes many lifetimes, we're gonna keep doing this, and we're never gonna stop.
That's right. I mean, as the grip of the tyrants reach down, the iron grip that they have over the throats of humanity right now, and that's a great metaphor for censoring ourselves as well, because as we get choked out, we cannot speak anymore. The thing is, we have more resistance back, and we don't want to take it into violent resistance where we end up back where we are, but we do want to understand the principle of self-defense, which we explained many times before. So I think hope is something that you have brought up there, and that's very important for us to really understand that, it may seem like it's the darkest times, but the light shines the brightest in a completely dark room. When the light is turned on, it ends up being the brightest thing that you can see. So
yeah,
we stand out, right?
Right. And, like you just said of self-defense, I just really want to emphasize something is like, these people who are going out of their way to expose what's going on in the world, to, try to, people who get called conspiracy theorists, or, people like us that are just trying to expose these methodologies and expose the control system of the world. It's a form of self-defense. That's what this is. We're defending truth. We're defending ourselves. We're defending what's so special. We're not just like coming out and saying these things just to get a rise out of people or try to be popular. It's because we realize that there's something really wrong here. People realize that there's something really wrong here. They're trying their hardest to reach those who don't want to listen. Why? Because it's a form of self-defense. Whether they know that or not, that's what it is. And, that really needs to be deeply understood. And, self-defense goes a long way. And we're going to continue to get into that more and more as these shows go.
I'm very happy that you said that. That is a very important part of self-defense that people do need to understand, which is, there is many levels to it. And like you said, what we're doing here is the real self-defense. We're defending ourselves with the truth itself. And we need to do more of that. We need more people speaking up in this way.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. We need more people to speak up, especially right now, because we are being suffocated. Our mouths are being covered. We are being censored on every level imaginable. And if we don't speak up now, we just don't get another chance. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, we really do have our mouths covered with all the baby diapers on, huh?
Right, yeah, the face diapers, that's right.
Oh, man.
But, I'm gonna switch gears here, and I want to say that a few of the new, it's a few website function updates I'd like to go over. Is no matter where you're listening to this show from, if you go to CubbyWhole.com, then go to the podcast part, and then under each audio bar, you'll see a download now button. Once you click on that, you'll be able to be taken to a new window with an audio bar. And if you're on your computer, you can right click on that audio bar, and it should give you the option to save the audio to your computer. And this won't work on your phone, and I'm almost sure you can only save it to your computer. So I just wanted to let you guys know, just in case you'd like to have any of those audio files, because you never know. I mean, they could just turn everything off, and you'll never have this information ever again. I don't know. I think it's just really important that we're downloading as much information as possible to our external hard drives, just in case the internet gets turned off. So, very important to understand how that function works. We're gonna say something, Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely, Nate. I want to put a little emphasis on the downloading of content. I think it's one of the most crucial things for us to do now. Even though that the internet is so widespread now, it's harder for me to personally find information of quality because of the censorship that's going on. And most of the quality information that I have is stuff that I've saved on my external hard drives. And that's something very important for people to invest in, is some external hard drives to download this content on and keep it, disconnected from the internet, so it doesn't it's less likely to be corrupted in some way. So yes, I think that is very important for us to make sure that if you find value, not only in this work, but in anybody's work, find a way to download that and save that information now. I've been looking around on your normal Google searches and things like YouTube and stuff like that to find good information, and it's so difficult to find it now. It is very scarce, unless you're directly subscribed to channels, obviously, that you can keep up with, but even that is becoming more scarce because they're being banned and attacked left and right. So yes, make sure to download the information that you feel is quality. If for anything, make sure to download it for your children.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, for posterity. It's you downloading this information is what's going to keep this information alive and, to keep growing off of it and spreading this. One of the things I was going to say is there's a website video converter that I'm using currently that works really well. I'm going to share it on the website. And it's www.freemake.com, and this is a place where you can go take the video or audio file from a place like YouTube, and you can go convert it into an MP3 or MP4 or whatever file you'd like to make it into. You can do that there, and it's free. So and it works. And it's a really good way to just take information off the internet and put it into your own storage. So that's really important to know how to do that. So the second thing I'd like to announce is, if you go to CubbyWhole.com under podcast, you'll also see that there's many new slides that I've been working on for the past shows. That's something I've kind of been doing past couple months that we've been taking this hiatus. And I believe it's really important to help the listener who does better with visuals. And I'm a visual learner, so I understand, and it makes communicating these ideas a lot easier and efficient. So make sure to check those out. I put a lot of work into those, and they're really I'm pretty stoked with them. So also please feel free to share the slides and or use them with your work. We don't mind because we don't own this information, as does anyone else. If you see CubbyWhole.com on any of the slides, it's because we want people to get full context of the information by coming to the website to learn more. It's just really important to get the full veracity of the information. It's so vital, and I'm still working on the bugs with the site. So if there's issues with the slides, I apologize in advance. Like I said on the past shows, it's not my forte. Working with websites, but I'm learning, and if anything, you can right click on the image and save it to your computer. There's no issue with that. And I know much of the problem is the browser not being updated, so make sure your browser is updated and check if that's the issue. And definitely check out the slides for this show if you want to get a better picture of what we're talking about today. Other great news that I'd like to share: the CubbyWhole podcast is expanding to other platforms, including the censorship overlord YouTube. The thing is like, we might as well use it while we still can. You can still reach a lot of people through there, and I think it's really important that we're just expanding everywhere. It doesn't matter if there's censorship, just get it out there, because maybe we'll seep through the cracks, and it's worth it. So thank you to Brandon for uploading those videos or those audio files there for people. Also, if you're on Instagram and want to follow CubbyWhole, for updates on shows and slide shares. Make sure to click and follow and stay up to date there. So that's just a way, because I know a lot of people are on Instagram. I think it's a good place for you to, always be reminded that, there's going to be a show every week or, whenever we say there's going to be a show. So CubbyWhole will also be expanded into the platform called Minds and possibly Telegram, MeWe, and BitChute. You said you're going to be working on that, right, Brandon?
Yeah, I already have the page for BitChute set up, and there is one video up there already. So yes, we are on BitChute, and looking forward to getting on Minds and Library. I think those are both wonderful platforms to be on.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate you doing that. We got to branch out as much as possible because, we don't know. Like we were talking about with the censorship, we have no idea when we're going to be deplatformed or when censorship is going to take a full-on, just veil over everything. One of the platforms we're really excited about is we've been given the opportunity to put our information and shows up on the new One Great Work Network platform. So thanks to Mark Passio and the whole crew at whatonearthishappening.com. I really appreciate that. We really appreciate that. It's a really great opportunity for many like minds, many awesome teachers of natural law. So make sure to keep your eyes out for that. Okay, so before we go any further, I just wanted to do a quick review of many of the topics covered on this show, and Brandon will also give a short review of the methods of manipulation. So we're all, reminded and caught up, and also what to expect for future shows on this topic. So, we started this out last year, the CubbyWhole podcast, and we started with covering the meaning of CubbyWhole, the Seed Conference, the Seed 4 Conference, the significance and spiritual essence of the seed. Then we taught the scientific truth discovery methods, which are the trivium and quadrivium, both meant to help us come closer to actual truth. We covered consciousness and cymatics, the governing dynamic of sound, the right to self-defense, problem solving, esoteric relationship. Sorry, the cymatics was the governing dynamic of form. Sorry. The esoteric relationships, reaching children with natural law through art books. My mother actually came on the show and talked about her book, Give to Nature and Nature Will Give to You. Really, really awesome book. And then anthropology, symbolism, the ancient Egyptian mythos, totemic sociology, secret societies. We broke down much of natural law, moral relativism, force versus violence, worldview schisms, and how the brain operates and manifests imbalances in the world, which is why we have war constantly. We initiated the pillars of enlightenment, the 7 hermetic principles, including the 8th encompassing lost principle of care, which all govern natural law. Then on to natural law expressions, religion, the occult, mind control, magic and sorcery, the breakdown of conspiracy. Also, we covered the control structure that runs much of the world, the lesser mysteries, origins of cults, pyramid builders, buzzwords, imagination, and much, 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 much more, including what Brandon is going to cover right now as far as the methods of manipulation. So if you want to just give us a little overview of all the methods leading up to religion, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Nate, and just listening to that list, I can tell we've done a lot of work here. Give me one second here.
Yeah, we definitely have. We have covered so much, and it's just funny because like I'm looking at that list, I'm like, wow, that's a lot. But I feel that we have at least 3 or 4 times more content than that we're going to cover. So it's going to be a one hell of an adventure.
Yes, sir. I think we've done a wonderful job on everything so far as well. Very quality. But getting into the methods of manipulation, we started off with obfuscation. We worked our way through obfuscation into worldview poisoning. Then we worked up into primal fears. What are the 4 basic primal fears? And then we worked into divide and conquer. And we talked about the Hegelian dialectic quite a bit when it comes to this. We worked up into indoctrination and the modern education or the institutionalized schooling system that is really indoctrination or brainwashing. We worked into controlled opposition. We talked a lot about the political parties in this. We talked a lot about the Hegelian dialectic in this one as well. And we worked into the financial system. We talked about the Federal Reserve. We talked about fiat currency. We talked about maritime admiralty law. We worked into control of the mass media, which, we've kind of been talking about a little bit today when it comes to censorship, because those do go hand in hand with how people only get their information from the mass media. And they see that as the one place to get any type of truth. That's the only place you can get the truth from, which is ridiculous. But we worked into food and medicine, the importance of food and medicine and how we're being manipulated through what we're putting in our body, through pharmaceutical warfare and through things like GMOs. We worked into the illusion of time, and that was a big one when we talked about that. We also worked into the DHR factor, which was denial, harassment, and ridicule. And this is a big thing that we, get in response to when we're speaking the truth, how people respond to what we're saying about, the current situation, politically or geopolitically or just socially, or the condition of humanity being in slavery, how people are in denial about it, how they harass you about it, or how they ridicule about that. They ridicule you and the information because you said that. Then we have worked into, this is the final one that we have left off on, which is religion. And religion, we broke down the etymology of religion, which means binding or to thwart from forward progress. And we talked a lot about astrotheology, and that was the last solo episode that I did, was covering the solar cult doctrine of astrotheology. And I even spoke about a little bit about the timeline that correlates to some of Doug's work when it comes to anthropology and the hero cults, being the 3 basic ones, the lunar, the stellar, and the solar cults. So from that, we will be talking about subversive symbolism and then moving into chaos sorcery, and that would cover all the methods of manipulation that I have listed here. So yes, I think, that's done a great overview of tactics of control that this society and these elite scumbags wield over our minds constantly.
Yeah, man, very well said. I wanted to say, are we listening to Hermes in the background? Is that him?
Oh, can you hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he's
all right.
Crying.
Yeah, he wants his daddy.
Yeah, he's a needy boy sometimes. Give me a second, I'll see if I
miss
can play
that dog, man. I have such a awesome connection with him, and I haven't seen him in years. It feels like I live too far away. Yeah, I was just gonna say that, you did a fantastic job with all the methods of manipulation, and I really appreciate you putting in the time to do that. And I think, there's not enough that could be said, but man, I really feel like you did a fantastic job, and it's something that too many people don't know and don't understand, and that's what we're trying to do here is help people understand these things.
Well, absolutely. I think it's very important that we take our knowledge into our own hands, our own education, because we have been, indoctrinated with so many lies from our culture and from our parents and from our, so-called superior people who are supposed to be educated individuals who really have no true education themselves and have not done one iota of work into understanding themselves or the way that this realm works or the way that this world works.
Absolutely. Religion is extremely important to understand. If we say we're truly open or science-minded and or we just want to be free, then we need to learn how religion is holding us back from these things. We have to.
When it comes to religion, I think it's very important for us to distinguish institutionalized religion from, maybe some of the more ancient totemic religions of the stellar cult. And I think it's very crucial for us to understand to not throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to religion. Now, you're going to hear a lot on this show about how religion is one of the source problems, and that's because we're talking about dogma,
right?
Specifically dogmatic religious belief systems that, like Nate said, thwarts us from forward progress. There is a core to religion that is truth, and there is a core to religion that has to do with natural law and morality, and we can find this across the entire world. But I think that we do have to distinguish one from the other when it comes to that. We're talking about dogmatic religious belief systems compared to, an actual pure knowledge or gnosis of the natural laws. And some could call that a religion, and etymologically we could look at that as a tying back to the truth. We could look at that as something that is binding us to something that is going to progress the society, that's going to push us forward, or thwart our forward progress into slavery. We need something that's going to prevent us from moving into slavery, right? So we could use that in that context where, thwarting from forward progress. Well, what do you mean by progress? You mean progress into more authoritarianism and
right.
Tyranny and dictatorship, communism, fascism, socialism, Marxism, any of these things, Marx or capitalism, any of these ideas of authoritarianism. Well, yeah, we need something to hold our anchor firm. I look at it as an anchor in a way where it holds us steady where we need to be, in place, steadfast,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, we have to be able to accept that, we might just be part of a religion or many religions. This is something that I, got into with the maze cube. And, we have to recognize our religious behavior. What's binding us, something that's binding us that's not natural law, right? So, something that we feel needs to be expressed much further is a natural law expression, which is internal. This is what's going to, help us really understand this. And it's discovered when we seek knowledge, when we seek and accept truth. And when we process that knowledge and come to an understanding, we then recognize we are sovereign beings in reality without the authority of man. And we really can't truly know and understand this unless we get out of our religious dogmatic beliefs, like Brandon's saying. You know, so if you go to the CubbyWhole website, click on the sovereignty slides for this part, show number 36, you'll see what we're going to be talking about here. And we are all naturally and inherently sovereign beings. And that's the truth in nature. 100%. We're all individually fixed in nature as sovereign beings. And I know it doesn't seem that way, but it's true. You know, the ruling class of the world has really done a great job at making most of us believe the contrary, which is why we're in such a poor state right now. But like I said, the truth remains. We're inherently sovereign. And, you know, just looking at the word sovereign, sovereignty is the internal positive expression of natural law. So to be a sovereign is to be a monarch, which means the ruler who only rules the kingdom of self. And monarch is actually from the Greek monarchia, which means the ruling of one. So not a ruler over others, not being, you know, ruled by others. Sovereignty is a state in which one controls only one's own thoughts, one's emotions, and one's actions. And doing this by bringing them into alignment and not in non-contradiction, which accomplishes mastery of one's own consciousness. Being unified and not living dualistically. That's the goal. It's about having control. It's about having mastery. It's about having ownership of the self and recognizing we're not here to be ruled. We're not here to be owned. You know, we're not here to be a slave by someone else. So to be sovereign, which we are, which we're all individually sovereign, means we're not a slave.
Absolutely. You said everything that I was going to say. You know, sovereignty is something that we need to really fully understand. When most people hear the word sovereignty, they think back to old monarch kings where they're the one ruler over their peasants, you know. But when you break down the word like you said, you know, it comes from Latin, which is super, which means above, and then the Latin noun regulum, which means rulership or control. And it means that you are above the rulership or control of another. And that's
Right.
why the monarchs of the past took that up as their title as a sovereign, because they were above the rulership or control over others. But everybody is that. Every single person is innately a sovereign. So sovereignty takes responsibility, because it means that you have to be responsible for what you do with your body. You're responsible for what you do with your emotions and your mind. So it's about self-control, self-mastery, and self-ownership. And like Nate said, it is about not being a slave, because we truly are all inherently free, even though we're living in a condition of slavery. That doesn't change that. I'm a free being. Nate is a free being. You are a free being. We are all truly free beings, but we are living in a condition which binds our freedom, our innate freedom.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to change, is those coercive conditions that are brought down arbitrarily upon us by these, you know, elect individuals and
Alright, we're gonna take a break right there. I'm gonna step outside, take Squirt. He's sleeping behind me. Take him OUT. And then I'll be right back to roam the other half of Bar Harbor. Alright, thank you.